Hello class, today I'm going to talk to you about the branches of the U.S. government and its political parties. In order to understand the importance of the branches and how they work, it's important to understand the political party system. I'm not talking about your typical birthday party. I'm talking about the parties that are made up of many different people that vote on different issues and implement many different laws. You may have heard the terms Democrats and Republicans. Those are the two major parties, and we've had a two-party system in the U.S. for many years. There are also minor parties present, such as the Tea Party and the Green Party. It's important to know that these parties, they see the same issues, whether it's education, healthcare, or whatever. They see the same issues, but they look at it at a different approach. The first branch of government I'm going to be speaking about is the judicial branch. The judicial branch is made up of the Supreme Court. Here's a picture of the Supreme Court. It's found in Washington, D.C. The Supreme Court is the highest court in the U.S. There are 9 justices or judges on the Supreme Court, and their job is to interpret the Constitution, protect our rights as citizens. These justices are appointed by the president, and they have life term until they retire, die, or are impeached. Here is a photo of the current justices. In the middle is Chief Justice Roberts. He was appointed by President George W. Bush, and he has the deciding factor in a tie. The judicial branch breaks down into many other federal, state, and district courts that have many responsibilities besides interpreting the Constitution. The next branch I'm going to speak to you about is the legislative branch. This is a bicameral system. No, I did not say camel. The bicameral system means that there are 2 chambers to the legislative branch. You may have heard of them. The first is the House of Representatives. Here's a photo of the House of Representatives. And the second is the Senate. These 2 branches make up the rules. They levy and support our taxes. They declare war. They regulate money. And they create the laws. They do much more, and we will discuss further in class. The last branch I would like to focus on is the executive branch. We will be discussing this further in class, so I saved it for last. The executive branch, as you can see right here, is a photo of the White House where the president stays. The executive branch is made up of the president, the vice president, and the cabinet. I do not mean a kitchen cabinet, I do mean the cabinet. The president appoints people from his party that have similar views and that will implement the laws passed by Congress. And as president, it's basically having 7 jobs in one. The roles of the president, as stated here, are the chief of state. This is basically being the head figure of your nation. How are you going to present yourself in front of your people? Throwing out the first ball of the baseball season, making a famous speech on 4th of July. These are the responsibilities of the chief of state. The chief executive, you're the boss. You make sure that all the millions of people working under you in the executive branch are implementing the laws created by Congress, and that you ensure that they are running smoothly. The chief diplomat, this is the role that the president makes for U.S. foreign policy, how he's going to communicate with the world, attending meetings with foreign leaders, talking to them about issues. And the next one is Commander-in-Chief. Commander-in-Chief is, he or she is in charge of the army, the armed forces. It's not to say he can declare war, because that's a responsibility by the Congress. He makes sure that plans of running smoothly in a wartime, or where to send the troops in time of peace, and to keep the peace. The chief legislator is that he is able to sign the bills that Congress passes. If he does not like them, he has a chance to veto them. He can also put his say into Congress. He can meet with them and say, hey, him or she, I should say, sorry. They can say, hey, I like it this way, we should maybe have this approach. The chief of party, as I've spoke about before, about political parties, if there's a Democrat in office or a Republican, they're the head of their party now. They're the president. They make sure that others in their party are elected to other positions, such as senators or representatives. They campaign for them, and they represent their party with respect and responsibility. The chief guardian of the economy, he or she makes sure that they write out the plans of the free market economy, that things are running smoothly, that they can handle the unemployment levels. And all these roles are what a president takes in for his 4 to 8 years in office. We'll be further discussing the executive branch and the roles of the president in class with presentations. You're going to be the president, and we're going to also interpret different photos of the president and clips and see which roles apply to them. But it's important to look at this lecture as a whole general understanding of how our federal government works. And here's a photo laid out before you of the 3 branches. I've talked about each 3 and specific duties and people involved with each branch, and we'll be further discussing each branch in class. Thank you.